Are we moving?
So beautiful.
Are we moving?
So weird. The effect's not quite the same on film. So we're on our way in a snowstorm to go try to find someone that's lost in the woods. You gotta say a prayer.
We're going with Philippians 2:15, that you may become blameless and harmless children of God, without fault in the midst of a crooked and perverse generation, among whom you shine as lights in the world. It's Philippians 2:15, and we'll pray. Father, we thank you for just this good day. Every day is a good day. We thank you for the ways that you allow us to be of service to others. We thank you for this stream. We thank you for the wonderful people that help us along the way, that you put in our paths as well, Father. We ask your hand of covering over everyone here. We pray a special prayer for the young man in New Mexico. You know who he is, Lord. Heal his mind, heal his heart, put people in his path that will accept the truth of what he's trying to tell them, Lord, so that he can get on with healing. Please be there for him, for his family. We thank you, Lord, for this night and for these viewers and for this platform. In Jesus' name, amen. I'm Lead Tracker E, and this is Jerry Williams. We have 4 Facebook pages: the Oklahoma Bigfoot Predator Watch, Antlers and Surrounding Areas; the Choctaw Missing and Murdered Woman, WOMBMAN and Son Center and Database; the Lead Tracker E channel; and the Predator Bigfoot and the Spiritual Warriors Path. I said channel, but I meant pages. And then we also have a Lead Tracker E channel on YouTube. And if y'all would double check and make sure that you're subbed and that your notifications are set, because we get told almost daily that people are not getting their notifications and that they're being unsubbed. We have our book, by the same name as the Facebook page, The Predator Bigfoot and the Spiritual Warriors Path, by Jerry Williams and Lead Tracker E. And that's available on Amazon for $25. And there you can leave a review and also go read the reviews. We're very, very proud of them. And you can also buy the book and the DVD directly from us. And right now we have really a great sale going on. You would get the book and the DVD, our documentary, which is a lot of information in addition to this book. Both of those for $55, and it costs us probably about $11 by the time we buy the packaging and the mail to send out. So you really, really are getting a great deal with that. We won't do this one too much longer, but we just want to get this information into as many hands as possible. This book is saving lives. The reason we're here tonight is because of this book, really. We'll talk about that later.
Also, our new webpage, you can go to predatorbigfoot.com. This is the page that will take you to Predator Bigfoot and the Spiritual Warriors Path. It's where you can find the links that you need, the updates, everything, all the new things that are happening. Also a good way to stay in contact with us. But it does have the links that you need. And I believe we have playlists, though. Playlist. Yeah. So this is the new web page. You can go to that, predatorbigfoot.com, and keep up with us that way as well. Let's see. The new Warrior Tracker Training Course. It's coming up August 21st through December 21st. 4 months. It's a class every week, 2 to 3 hours every week. Make sure you have a notebook, drawing, or a sketch pad. We will be going over some things that we need you to do some homework on. But like some of our trackers, they have like almost 2 books full of information. It's a lot of information that we want to make sure that you have, so that you're not fooled, not just by the signs and the tracks and things like that, but things that go on in the daily life, things that we teach. Army Rangers have not been this good. Marine Special Forces not as well. Other trackers, other professional trackers, still don't know as much as we do, and what we train and teach in the course. And if you would like to be a part of that, it's coming up pretty quick on the 21st. It's $40 a month. 3 qualifications: a child of God, we know you personally, or someone can vouch for you. We did have one person who was vouched for last course, but there was a conflict, not between us, but a conflict between them and another group, that they just didn't want to interfere with the training. Which, if you've taken the course, you understand we don't have that stuff, and we don't allow that stuff in the course. We're training you. We don't. Whatever's happening outside world has nothing to do.
We're in our own
world. Because we're just teaching you what you need to know, so that you can be very helpful to other people, like our trackers now. They're out helping lots and lots of people around the world. We got some in Canada, Australia, the United States, Chile, just other places, other tribes, and they're all helping in one way or the other with their group, their families, their communities. So if you're interested, get with us before the 21st. That's on a Wednesday, I think, or a Tuesday or Wednesday, but that's coming up in about 11 days, but we want you in before. And we actually already have one confirmed person who's already joined up and is ready to go. And they've been keeping up, and we are going to be sharing some information tonight about some areas that we're working on.
We very much appreciate your patience yesterday. It looks like all of the prayers have covered and the technical difficulties are taken care of, and it's going to be a good presentation.
Also on the Lead Tracker E channel is...
We are way behind on these stories, the Tracking Miracles and Encounters. We will have a playlist with that, and as we catch up, we'll share more stories personally and from guests of God's everyday miracles in divine intervention and divine orchestration. We just want to make sure that people are paying attention and to bring glory to Him.
Also, we have Standing Feather Stories.
These are the stories of Jerry and his journeys as Lead Horse Choctaw. He was the last man standing at Standing Rock. There's a lot of stories that you'll hear from his travels across the world in working to protect our earth and our water, our rivers. Some amazing stories behind the scene that you just don't hear about on the front side of the news, on the manufactured side of the news. These are the real stories behind the scenes, and they're always well received, and there's a lot to learn there. We also invite you to check out the playlist. It's on this channel and on the Lead Tracker E channel, the Standing Feather Stories. And in there also we have included our 3-part series, What the Natives Say, or the Indians Taught Bigfoot. I can't remember the exact title of it, but it's Predator or Not Predator. A 3-part long talk with several different tribe members, and unanimously at the end of this, the vote was predators. Don't get your information from what people say is. Don't get your information from non-natives about what the natives say. Get it from the natives, and that series is a great way to hear the information yourself with your own ears.
Also, if you'd like to support the Tracker channel, we do have Patreon or Cash App, PayPal, Super Thanks, and Super Chat. Super Chat, and everything will be up tonight. But those are ways to help support the channel, and we're going to be talking about things tonight on where some of these funds go to, because we always like to show what we do with the funds and the support that we receive.
Another way you can help the channel is by sharing it, so more people will see it, and also just let the commercials run. Mute them if you need to. Some of them are pretty good. We try to click skip on ones that we don't necessarily want representing us, but if we feel like it's a solid one, we let it run, so that that also helps support the channel.
Also, if you watch other podcasts or interviews, and you, instead of sending us those podcasts and interviews, which we do listen to from time to time, but we already know where it's going to go and what people are doing wrong, and we listen to that, and we always think they need this book too. So while you're listening to those podcasts, send them the link or send them where they can get the book, and let them know that not only does the interviewer but the person being interviewed both need to have the book, so that the cycle doesn't continue. We need to break that cycle. If you give them the information, they can break their cycle. They don't have to stay in the back and go sideways. We see everybody else are just going sideways, and they're not going forward. So help them out, get them the book, and while they're doing interviews and these other podcasts, and share that information, that they will expand, they will grow. And we've already seen this happen already. So let's continue sharing the information.
The interview we listened to today that someone sent us was from this area. We knew every area that they were talking about. Could have gone down the checklist of our book if they need our book. Just go down the check. Okay, well, we can expect this is about to happen. We can expect this is about to happen. All of these things could be, or most of these things could be avoided if people had the book or the information in this book and in the DVD, and that we share on our channel and then our posts. Help us get the word out to more people, please.
Again, this is a tracker channel. It's not an entertainment channel. We do like people saying hello to each other, and the friendships that has blossomed and expanded here. We love that. But we need to stay focused on the topic or the interview or what we're pertaining to during this evening or every evening. So we do have monitors who will stop the conversations. Don't let them get out of hand. Just listen to what we're saying. If there's questions, we'll answer those when we check the comments, which we will do right after this. Sometimes we'll stop in the middle and get some comments, get caught up, and then at the end, we also like to answer the questions or the comments related to the topic, not just out of the blue questions, just what we're talking about tonight or each night. So I think that's it. So we're going to get to the comments and see who's all here, and welcome everybody, and we're glad you're here to share this night again with us. Oh, we do have to apologize if no one knew. Last night we had technical difficulties and we couldn't get the videos and the photos loaded up, but we do have everything under control now. Okay. Jennifer is the first in today. Bob was yesterday.
Mhm.
Jennifer is tonight.
Jennifer says, those eyes haunt me. I'm still in shock because someone kept telling me something was living in that pond. Whoop, there it is. Ha ha, yikes.
And here is what
You'll
she
be
is talking
Getting
about.
a great idea of what Jennifer is having to deal with in the area that she has landed in.
Mhm. War Chief is here.
Hey, War Chief.
All right. Cubinator. All right.
Q.
Drunken Squirrel.
Hey, drunken squirrel who does not drink herself.
Yeah, just those squirrels. Looks like she's having a little tech problem, so she may be in and out. So we'll bear with you. Joyce is here.
Hey, Joyce.
Joyce is here.
Joyce also had yeah, I wasn't sure if I was supposed to say anything or not. Thank you, Joyce.
Thank you, Joyce. Joyce also sent some
Maple syrup.
maple syrup, which I just love maple syrup.
Very, very sweet person. And Joyce, she says further down, I saw it where she said also a good way to help is to cover in prayer, and absolutely 100%. We appreciate that. Every one of you that keep us and each other and our tracking team and the people in our interviews, in your story, in the stories that we share, keep them covered in prayer also. We thank you for that so much.
Yeah, we appreciate it. Mr. Bob is here. Bob is on time. Everybody say hello to Bob. All right.
Bob's got his mother to read the book halfway through so far, but it's a battle.
That's impressive. That's
You're
impressive.
doing a good job, Bob.
JR is here.
Hey,
Here
JR.
we go. Here we go, he says.
My mouth is so dry.
Everybody's saying hello to each other. Joyce is saying,
always blessed and highly favored, as are you, my brother Cubinator.
Cubinator. Graybeard. All right.
How you doing, Graybeard?
All right, Graybeard. Everybody's saying hello to Graybeard again.
Great group of people again.
And,
shout out, shalom, brother Graybeard.
all right. There's Cubinator. All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Cube.
Yeah, it all helps out, everything.
We appreciate you very much.
So JR only got kicked out once.
Wedge is here. Hey, Wedge.
Where? Oh, there he is.
Wedge, always looking for a little patch of peace.
All right, Wedge. Loren, look at that.
Hey, Loren.
All right. Everybody saying hello.
Great names.
Is the third here tonight? What?
Is the third here tonight? What are we not catching on to?
Maybe the third. I don't know.
The third.
There is a third. I know some thirds. Everybody saying hello to each other. Graybeard, Wedge. Oh, Loren. Wow.
Oh, Night Crackle the third. Where are you? Okay.
Oh, not Crackle the third.
Okay.
And thank you, Loren.
Loren, thank you so much.
Wow. Everybody saying hello.
There's Lyrical Jazzy. Hello to you and your mother.
Wow. Lyrical Jazzy.
And thank you to our moderators.
Yeah, thank y'all so much for your support and help. Yeah, there you go, Q. Loren, all right. Lyrical Jazzy, thank you. We got some amens from the prayers. Lyrical Jazzy is helping out with the YouTube channel, Lead Tracker E's YouTube channel. Thank you so much. Lee Jennifer is, amen. Thank you, everyone, for being here as a support group for us all.
We're very proud of Jennifer, and y'all will understand why before this presentation is through. Graybeard says, hit those thumbs up, guys. Yes, thank you.
Lyrical Jazzy's helping out with the Predator Bigfoot and Spiritual Warriors Path book. Wow, thank you. It's on Amazon. Wedge. Cubinator's ready. Ready for any problems. We expect them so they don't happen. happen, and we're always on guard for them. There's the PayPal link and the Cash App link.
Look at Jessie, you are fast.
For it, I know
Golly.
she's got it all up. There's the website. Thank you for that gray beard. It's actually a gift by a good friend who
Yes.
is helping us out. There's the Patreon
She did a
link.
beautiful job on it.
Sure did.
Pamela Smith is here.
Pamela?
How you doing, Pamela?
Hey, there she is.
Pamela is also very good about sharing posts and things like that.
Oh, good. Jen saying hello. Joyce.
Joyce also brought up a very good point. I put up a post earlier today about getting out there and helping the elderly with the woodline. Not just the elderly, but the people that are in need. If you are able-bodied, it's not to make you go hurt yourself or put yourself in a dangerous situation. But she is absolutely right about using prayer and discernment too, because some of those people may be isolated for a good reason, because they're just dangerous to be around. So don't put yourselves in a bad situation. Pray for discernment and help where you feel led. Ask him to open your eyes to who needs to be helped. And thank you for that, Joyce. That's a good reminder.
And like before we started, we all prayed together before we started cleaning and clearing and doing some things and scouting and tracking.
Yeah.
But we always like to start that way, especially on new areas. Cuban Air says the training will open up your spiritual eyes as well as your physical eyes. Recommended.
And Cube is doing a great job too on his Facebook page. Explaining things very, very well, trying to teach people and catching a lot of flack for it. So we appreciate you doing that. That's what warriors have to do, isn't it?
There she is. Night Star.
Hey, Night Stars.
As I seen everybody was saying hello to, I had to go back and find you. The third, good to see you. Everybody saying hello to Pamela and Night Stars.
I don't see Tracker B in here yet, but she will be in here soon, hopefully within the next few days, to give a report, because things have amped up very much. Well, they've never settled back down where she is. They just continually get worse in Louisiana. And she's also the one that let us know about a young friend of ours who was attacked by the predators. And you'll hear that in the 3-part series of what the natives say about Bigfoot. You'll hear about that in there, and he's taken a very much mental turn for the worse because he feels unsupported. When I'll read that part real quick. I'm going to read this one paragraph out of our book, and this absolutely 100% applies to this young man that we would ask y'all to pray for. We developed this book for the people who have no help, for those that have no one to believe them about what they have seen or heard. This book is for people with the concern that there is something unnatural out in the forest. It was written for the people who are ridiculed or scoffed at and not taken seriously by family members, friends, strangers, counselors, or law enforcement. It is written for those of you who begin to doubt yourselves when you know that you know what you saw, heard, or experienced. Now, people want to take unnatural ways out of this earth when they're pushed too far by experiences from these predators, on top of the humans around them adding on to the abuse by making them feel all those things. And so
Jennifer says, yes, the book saved my life already just by teaching me how to listen to the birds. Very valuable.
Thank you, Jennifer.
Thank you, Jennifer.
She is a quick study.
Cuban there say just shared the video to his group, Tracking Bush Predators, Australia.
Oh, good. Thank you.
Good. It says we made it in the Nico of time before the live started. We pulled into our driveway.
Good job.
Everybody get out, run inside.
Glad you're here. There's Nathan. How you doing, Nathan?
Hey, Nathan. It's been a while. Good to hear from you. All right.
Rogue Status. Hadn't heard from you in a little bit.
Status.
How you doing? Good to see you too.
That's actually Carla Hipkins. Just got a message. She's going to be trying to send us a link of some bodies that were found.
Okay.
Let's see. Rogue is there. How are you? Doing good? Oh, there's the Shade.
Hey, Shade.
We
How you
were
doing?
talking about you the other day, wondering where you were. Shade Viking. All right.
Yes, keep Jennifer in your prayers. Keep that area in your prayers.
Yeah. Where's that one? Yeah. Keep Jennifer in your prayers. Yeah.
She says I feel unsupported here too. I think she meant I'm telling you she meant she
Yeah.
feels supported because I've heard her brag about the sweet supportive people in our chat, and we thank y'all for that too, for making her feel welcome.
Mm-hmm.
She says, yep, gaslighting is abusive. I'm tuning it all out. Thank God he has revealed to us reality so we can stay more safe. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Chase's trackers. All right.
Oh, I like the way
Thank
you
you,
wrote
Shay.
that. I like the way you wrote that, Shay.
Okay, we got another one. Muito bom video.
Douglas Ola.
Douglas Osceola. Osceola.
Hola.
Douglas. Everybody's
Bendiciones.
saying hello to you. Bendiciones. All right. So we're caught up. Now, we're going to start off with we've been talking with our friend for a while who does have the book, who does have the video, who has been studying, who had been picking up some oddities and things before we met.
Mm-hmm.
She had gotten wind of predator Bigfoots in the area, and so she got a hold of us also. And more messages. I'm not sure how they're coming in though. But we went out and did a light scout with some other trackers, and that's when Mike and Steve Walden was in. We went out with some extra people, and we got to look around the area, and we did see lots of blinds, lots of ambush areas, and oddities that are related to the predator Bigfoot. So we came back, but we still had some other things that we still had to do also. But she had been starting to document a lot of things also, and we're going to be talking about some of those things she's documented. But we informed her that a lot of blinds are going to need to be taken out. Going to have to push a wood line back, push the wood line back, and but also seeing the area, we knew that it's not a one-person job or a one-day job.
Right. Oh, not at all.
It's going to take some time to do this, but we'll work it out slow and we'll get everything done. But we're going to start off with a quick video, and then we're going to show some photos and talk about where we've been, what we're doing. We normally don't talk about the location unless it's if the people there want to talk about it, that's fine. But we go to places that we just see that we could help out a little bit. Well, a lot. We could help out a lot with a lot of things. And but let's start off with the first video and listen to the evaluation, the quick evaluation before we start.
whenever this homeowner walks her dog, she sees new trees or hears new trees being broken. So we're here today to help her push back. We know for a fact that there are predator and a hybrid from visual sightings as well as signs. Pull downs back there. There's blinds everywhere around here. Pull downs. We're gonna do our best to clean up as much as we can today until it gets too hot, and then we will, pardon? We will take a siesta and let it cool off. Look what she's dealing with here. They've been coming and going in this swamp, in this pond. This is a danger zone right here by the gate. We're gonna remove all these blinds.
And
Go.
if you get that by that tree, down and below.
I'll go back and look, make sure I got it.
Then we'll clear on this side.
We gotta clear this out because as she stops to get the gate open, it's a perfect ambush spot.
Sits right down in there. It's got all the. Then right here, it sits right here too. Room back in there. So we're going to start off with a couple of photos, but when we get Jennifer on here, we will let her explain a couple of more to you. But we just want to kind of show you this area that we're working with. Now, this is a pond area, but the vegetation and for even the animal life is not up to par as far as what you would think. There should be some some herring. There should be even cranes and fish, small fish jumping. You should always see snakes and turtles and raccoons around these areas, and sometimes squirrels, a few rabbits. But as lead tracker E was talking about in the video, a lot of the animal life is gone. Even the snake life is gone. Although we did see one snake out there while we was cleaning.
But nothing compared to what it would have been in the past, or even from when they first moved in. Jennifer can talk about that later.
From this place right here, you would expect there would be a multitude of snakes. And I was very cautious. We were all very cautious. We were all very cautious. Because if you know what a cottonmouth looks like, or a water moccasin, dark black, some of them are dark brown, and that dry vegetation, those dry leaves, and they just get underneath, and they blend in so good.
Why, yeah.
And you sometimes you don't see them until you step on them. If you're moving slow, they will move as you wait, but you're going to see that movement. When you move, when you see them slow move and you move quick, they're going to move quick too. So
most will move out of your way. Some of those water moccasins or cottonmouths, they like to chase.
Yeah, so be very careful of that. Once we did find that there were snakes in this area, we did get us some protection and make sure we had that with us just in case. But I always like a shotgun with some bird shot because it carries out, spreads out. Harmless in long distance, but in those short distance, bird shot works really well with these poisonous snakes. And a lot of times those snakes aren't alone. So, but in this instance, we only seen one. There's a medium-sized one, maybe about 14 inches, probably something like that. And a lot of times you don't want to see a small one because there's always extra ones that are around there. So here's some more photos of this area. This is another area that we're going to be cleaning out. This is a thick area that we're going to have to be very, very careful when we're cleaning this out because of the possibility of the water moccasin and the what's the same thing, the cottonmouth water moccasin. Yeah. This is also across the way from where the homeowner lives. Very thick, very dark, a lot of places for predator Bigfoots and predator Bigfoot hybrids to hide in there and watch the homeowners or watch the animals. We do have some dark images in some of the photos, and these photos we took right when we got there the first day, which the predators, they're not expecting visitors to come over. They're not expecting cameras to be pulled out and thermals. We did run some thermals also, and we did get some hits on the thermals. That's when we started taking more photos. So there are some heat signatures in these trees. There's a darker image on the left of that tree. Actually, it looks like 2 or 3 right there standing. Also looks like a small one off to the right of that dark shadow, a face. And then on the left side of the tree as well. Now here's another photo of that same area where that shadow has gotten a little bit darker. And if you was to blow that up, because I can see from here, especially if I was on a bigger screen, you can see like the nose and some eyes, kind of a chin. There's also one behind, maybe even 1 or 2 back there. And one also on the right. This is also looking off from around where the homeowner raises chickens. We're going to talk about those in a little bit too. But this is just looking off probably about where the top of the chicken pen is. Still out there in the distance. So as you've seen in that first video where Lead Tracker, he was talking about the ambush area. I think it's on page 124 in the book, I believe.
Ambush areas.
Yeah. Ambush areas is what we're talking about. And these ambush areas, whether you think about it or not, you have and you make your own ambush areas.
Read a little.
Mm-hmm.
Ambush areas are strategic areas used for herding and capture of prey, using skirting and chutes, funnels prey to blinds, corrals, ravines, deep water crossings, bridges, bows, and land spikes. These areas are filled with traps, land spikes, and enclosures. Hiding spots are created by the predator Bigfoots and predator Bigfoot hybrids to lay in wait for prey to be directed to go by the troops herders or wander into from game trails. The areas are marked by bows. When we say bow, we're talking about like this behind us, although not always this extreme. Bows are trees which have been extremely bent or arched and are often held down on the top end by other logs or debris, or sometimes pushed directly into the ground. Every little bow has significance. The size of the bow indicates the size of the prey it is meant for. In essence, a sorting mechanism. Bows are also called arches, arcos, arcs, bows, bends, and hairpins. When an abundance of bows are found in one area, you will find other signs of predator Bigfoot activity. Predator Bigfoots are in the area, and it's a good idea to take care and carefully count around for other signs. Strong short limbs are placed near trees and blinds and are used to club prey to death. Many of the weapons used by the predator Bigfoots are left for another predator Bigfoot to wield when using the same ambush area. When many bows appear overnight, the predator Bigfoot or predator Bigfoot hybrids in that area are hunting and hungry. Homes in large areas will have pull-downs and structures that will be covered incrementally with branches and foliage, while most people don't even notice. The X will also be found at the entrance to hunting or nesting grounds and are used to mark boundaries. The different structures also display dominance, direct prey, and harness the power of the Earth's energy. And I'll stop there.
So as you've seen in that first video, right next to that gate, there's skirting, there's blinds, and it's all in where the homeowner would stop their vehicle, get out, and when you get out right there, we've seen this also with the, I believe Night Search had some about a fence also. Mm-hmm. And right there by that fence, there was a big blind behind the tree also. But these are the places that we look for when we go into new areas or new areas to track for homeowners. But we look for very strategic areas of where the best ambush places would be. And as soon as we got here, I mean, just right at the gate, the whole gate was covered up. There, you could see us inside kind of a walkway, but it was designed for something to come in from the back and sit right there at the bush, right there at the gate where the person has to get out of the vehicle to come in and out.
That's also where their trash bins are, and it's also where the delivery UPS driver sets things.
Here's a picture of that front gate from the distance. You can't see that there's even a road that goes through there. This is a perfect blind ambush area. So those are some of the areas that we were looking at, and we knew that we had to get in there and start there with the biggest ambush area first, and then we're going to work our way around. But we're going to work our way around both ways. We're not just going to go straight in a certain way. One time we'll work here, another time we'll work there, another time we'll work here, then back over here. Just kind of keep it sporadic so we don't form a pattern, and they expect us to be there next time and there next time and there next time. So we always got to keep a predator guessing and not give a predator a routine or a habit. So we started cleaning. We started doing a lot of pulling on trees. We cut some grass down.
And we are so grateful that now we have, in addition to our sling blade, which used to be the only thing we had, now we also have a lawnmower and a pretty good little electric chainsaw. It has issues sometimes, but for the most part, it's holding up. It's doing its job.
And as you can see, and this is getting close to about noon. We tried to be there about 6:30 in the morning. Work when it's real cool. Try to get as much done before the sun really came up and hit us. So this is also a time when the predators are still in the area. A lot of them will keep sentries out there, and the rest will move back. But early in the morning, they're still right there, still waiting for an opportunity. But here we are, pulling limbs down and the sticker vines, ivory vines. They're using that skirting to build blinds so that you can't look through there. And if you was to use a flashlight, like we talk about, that it's gonna, if it hits that skirting, hits those stickers, it's gonna spread that light out, and what's behind it you're not gonna be able to see. But they know that if they got skirting up, it's gonna hit that all those stickers, all those vines first.
And whenever Jennifer is walking her dog, since she's been there, she hears the brakes and grunts and growls and all the things that come along with these predators.
So here we this is around the first evening. The first afternoon. Sun's really starting to come up now. It's probably about 10 or 11 o'clock right there. And we're just tired. That first day,
It was really muggy that day.
it was pulling water out. I was soaked. So
And Jennifer's a hard worker too. She's right there for every bit of it.
everybody was doing, work in some other area or together. Here we got almost that front end away from the gate. We wanted to work on that gate first. And here's that gate again at the beginning. And then that's where we are. But I want to show you this real quick video. It's only about a minute. And we'll start from this one right here. Okay, that was the first day. Or second. First and part of the second, I think.
Yeah.
But even we took this photo before we started, and this is what's behind that tree brush.
We want you to notice that huge branch behind us. We took it down, that unnaturally bent pine branch that went almost down to the ground.
And there was a place where something had been sitting right underneath it,
Yeah.
and to the behind the
And
tree
it
also.
completely blocked the view from her door to her gate.
So you couldn't see a car coming in, or if anyone, or if anything was to happen out there, you couldn't see from from their viewing area. So we started with the clearing and the cleaning, and again, that's what it looked like in the beginning. And then we cut that tree down also.
The branch.
The branch, I'm sorry. We cut that branch down also.
And it laid ever so nicely, and we left it right there.
Yeah.
Let it die down a little.
And
we will, the debris that's going down will have to be chopped up, burned, mulched, removed. Because if it's left to lay there, they'll just turn it into new vines.
yeah, you'll see parts of it raised back up or bend over. They'll just manipulate it. But here is the photo before, and here's the photo afterwards. You know, before this is what you seen by the gate. You couldn't see anything through there. And then this is right after. So that next day we came back that next day at 6 a.m. 6:15.
6:30, something like that.
We tried to get out there earlier, and
Just to beat the heat.
yeah, to get as much done in the cool as it could be, because it was muggy that first day, and the second day wasn't so bad.
It wasn't nearly as bad. A little more breeze the second day.
But again, everyone was.
We
working.
also made sure we hydrated really, really, really well after that first day.
After that first day, we was
got serious.
drinking Gatorade, water, everything we could get our hands on.
That helped.
So here's a few photos that we're going to show. Part of the second day, and taking care of that the ambush area near the gate, front gate. And then we'll have our guest on.
Yes.
And then we'll have our guest talk about the same things, except for what's going on when we're not there, what they've documented, what they learned, and their deterrents that they've been using.
Update us
On that. So here is this picture again. Now we're going to go up to the gate. We're going to go up to the front gate and take a look. And remember, this was just bush that you couldn't see through. It was thick, even from the beginning. And now we got to clear that out. We had to pull the sticker vines and stickers that were all stuck. They were all up there for skirting. Walls of it where they could just sit there in those circles, and you wouldn't be able to see if they were there because of that skirting. So we had to cut all those at the bottom and pull them all down. I got, I think, a little bit of poison ivy, but as long as I don't scratch, I'm good. I mean, it always goes away. I mean, if you've never had poison ivy, most of the time you'll get it once a year. If you're lucky, you won't, but it's not a big deal. I mean, they come and they go. So it's part of the thing. Here's another photo of the right side of the fence, and that too was pretty thick in there. Now this was the pine tree area that was real thick. It was a big blind. They could sit right down in there and hide when the vehicles kept coming by or went by. You would never have seen them. They were right underneath those pine trees. That was on the back side is where they were sitting, but they were crawling up through the trees to that land. Now here's a. This was from. This is all that we could get done about that first day up to that point. But by the second day, we had cleared this whole area out. And it's a lot of work, a lot of sweat.
Good exercise.
Good exercise. But
and she's so grateful.
Everybody was in good spirits. We was all laughing through the whole thing.
Yeah, good company.
And smiling and just having a good time while we did some work.
She's trying to do a lot of things one-handed because she keeps her amazing dog with her, but he is a handful.
Mm-hmm.
He's a handful.
When he wants to go somewhere, he tries to go that way.
Making her stronger every day.
Yeah, and we're glad the dog is with her. It's a good dog, good
We hope
watch
she
dog.
can get him trained up to a little cart. She can put that dog to work. He can be wheeling her around.
Yeah, he could be carrying supplies.
Toting wood.
That's a strong dog. So here's also a before of that. There's still grass up there. We're still getting all that cleared out. And now here is another photo of that same road from the area, other angle. We knocked down all the high grass. A lot of that goes into a ditch, so we would probably need a sling blade to get through there. We do have one when we go back. We'll take care of that also. And we're going to knock it down more and more. We also need to take this little brush out, this little shrub out, or at least thin it out. And we'll probably cut that grass in that area. And when you cut the grass down, that deters the snakes also.
Yeah.
If it's high grass, they know it's nobody's there. But if you got cut grass, they feel that cut grass and they try to avoid it because they know that man is using that area. Or you can put some rope. And we used to use that real thick rope that still had the little, it was like splinters, you know, a real rough rope. Snakes don't like that. Once they touch it, they'll turn and go the other way. Mothballs work. I remember people used to put mothballs underneath their homes.
She can go overboard to get her.
Yeah, don't go
too
overboard.
much will make you sick.
Yeah, don't go overboard. So we still need to cut this area out. We need to and cut the lawn more in more areas also, because even high grass is a blind. These things can lay in the grass, and you would drive right past or walk right past it. And all they do is stand up and just like a panther or a tiger. So this is that same area.
That's swamp. That's not a lawn.
That's not a lawn. That's a swamp. Or a pond. That's a pond.
It's a swampy pond. It's beautiful. It's got its own unique kind of beauty. You know, it really does. But it's also.
And here is also the same photo, but this one's a before. So you can't see the. Where's that? You can't see the gate. You can't see it clearing. You can't see through there. But
they could see her.
They
were
could
watching
see her
through that.
And
her not roommate, her neighbor on the same lot.
Mm-hmm. So here is. That same one. Oh. Here's us again, and that's this one spot right there in front of that, the fence behind us. And here's a wider shot now with us out of the way. Notice that tree is gone also. This tree is gone. or that limb.
That made a big difference.
We took that out also. We still have to cut that up more. But now you can tell if something is sitting out there. We still have a lot of work to do. This is not going to be a one-time thing, but we did get in there quite a bit. And for the time that we have, we did a lot.
Yeah, and she can see when someone's pulling up.
Oh, you can definitely look all the way through there now. Let's see if somebody's coming or see if there's a dark spot that's not supposed to be there.
And she's such a sweet person. Like her concerns, very, very concerned for the UPS driver. She doesn't care just about herself. She's trying very hard to warn her neighbors and warn the people around her of what's going on.
So UPS, everyone should be very happy with that. It's all going to be safer. Everyone's going to be safer. And we're glad everyone is safe out there.
And we want you to look outside your gates and clear those areas back. Anywhere that you've got to stop and pause and you've got a pattern of being there, keep that pushed back so that no kind of predator can hide in there. Check your mama's land. Check your elderly neighbor's land. Just depend on who it is and staying safe, doing so safely. But that's the kind of thing you're looking for.
Yeah, and in the book, The Predator, Bigfoot, and Spiritual Warrior's Path, I'm not sure what page it is. There's so much information here, but we do talk about how your cars, your tents, your wood piles, your propane,
Play
areas, where you park your car.
Page 124.
What?
Ambush areas and bush. Yeah, that's the one we read.
Oh, okay. Ambush areas. But think about it. Think about if you're coming in, did I make an ambush area, or can this be used as an ambush area?
Humans will also use those things. If you got a big bush right outside your front door, you created a spot for any kind of predator to hide, to ambush you while you're trying to get your key in the door.
Yep. Even when you're where you park your car, from where you park your car to where your door is, be able to see that, not where you have to come in and zigzag around brush or things like that.
Where you put your trash out, we strongly encourage you to keep your trash indoors. We rinse out our containers rinse out our cans before we throw them in
Eggshells
into the trash. Tie them all up in the individual grocery bags, or save your plastic containers to put the scraps in, to tie them up and get rid of them. If you have a composter, don't have it up close to your house, but also don't have it out next to the wood line. Find some safe way to have it and have it secured, because that's a draw for the predators.
And some of these predators will think that you're feeding them.
Yeah, and some people are feeding them.
And some people are. But if you have to throw scraps out or something like that, make sure, if you've got a dog or something that's going to eat those scraps, make sure they eat those scraps and not take it off somewhere, or make sure they eat what there is, then clean that up. And I know it's a chore, but it will deter. It will help you in the long run.
If you can help it, don't leave your cans of dog food outside or cat food outside. If you've got the room, they need to be stored inside, because that's something they get into a lot.
Let's catch up with a couple of comments, and then we'll get Jennifer
Okay, yeah, let's get Jennifer. Okay.
And then we'll get Jennifer on, and we'll have her come in and tell you. We do have some extra photos that we're going to wait for Jennifer to come explain with us, and have her catch us up from the last time we talked to her, and about what's going on and what we're doing now. Let's see.
I'm gonna start right here with where Iloren says, "I see it."
Okay, hold on. Rogue is saying hi to Shay, Mariella, Gustav.
Mariella. Hola, Mariella.
Hola.
Saludos from Uruguay.
Uruguay. All right. Everybody's having. Well, there's Judy. All right,
Hey,
Judy.
Judy.
Good to see you, Judy. Lyrical Jazzy saying, let's get that like up. Everybody hit the likes.
CT came in for just a few minutes and been working ever since.
Yeah, she goes, I'll be here.
Say hi and immediately put herself to work. And thank you, CT.
Oh, we have a new subscriber. Looks like Mariella subscribed.
Oh, gracias.
Gracias. Alan is here. Alan Goodyear.
Hi, Alan.
Goodyear.
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 Goodyear. I like it.
Good evening, Alan. How are you doing? Everybody's saying hello to Alan. A couple of people. Judy says she never misses a stream, and
oh, good.
Douglas Portuguese. All right.
Oh, wonderful.
Wow. Everybody saying hello to each other. Lyrical Jazzy saying hello to everybody. CT.
Thank you for interpreting. Thank you for translating.
Gracias. Mucho gracias. There's Alarin where she says she sees it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there we are.
Okay. Yeah, it's.
And then.
Shade says that's a thick forest in the backyard. Yeah,
sure
it is. Well, if you just like when we went out there and looked at it, I was like, okay, I see one right there.
Yeah.
See
a
one
lot
right
of dark
there.
spots there.
See one right there. We took pictures. And we're going to show you some of those in just a minute. But
Isla says they know her patterns. Yes.
Yeah, and they are, and that's what we watched a movie or no, it was a podcast that Carla Bell sent us, and this guy was talking about how the Bigfoot, well, which it did in this case, walked around the pond and kind of met him halfway, but once he got to where the Bigfoot couldn't see him, he took off running, and before the Bigfoot could, walk that area, and two other people ran with him, and they all made it home safe, but a Bigfoot knows that pond, it knows that swamp, it knows that lake, it knows if it should swim across it or if it could walk across it. It looked, to me, it looked maybe about waist high, maybe chest high, if not lower. But to a predator Bigfoot, that's only about ankle deep or about knee deep.
Depending on which one, yeah.
Yeah, because they're very much taller, so it's easy for those things to walk through. And they've walked through them before. And with ponds and lakes and little rivers and side creeks, they grow the lily pads. But if you watch those lily pads, all of a sudden, one day, you're going to see that they separated. And that's because something had walked through there and they're using it. They know that walkway. So look, wherever you see those breaks, that's also a walkway. If you ever have to go through there, that would be the way to go.
And also a way to know if something else had recently gone through there.
And Mera Hoy, Dompreda, Quinn, mucho tiempo, pero es un honor poder ayuda. Thank you, CT. It's great to help us. Thank you for the help. Judy says, my country ride today. My country ride. I seen pull downs everywhere along South Railway.
Yeah, when she says pull downs, we're talking about these.
Yeah.
And it's a way is the most common way for blinds to start with a pull down. Natural ones or ones that they will pull down or twist down, and then they begin to fill it in over time to create a blind.
TC derecha. Habla español, lyrical jazzy. Okay.
First Kind says,
First Kind.
Hello there. This live stream show is great. Thank you very much.
Oh, thank you, First Kind.
Glad you're here.
All right. Hello, First Kind.
Jennifer says, anytime I go outside, not live streaming. I'm hearing movement and sometimes even huge tree breaks. Even hear walking wolf howl towards twilight. Yes, twilight is one of the busiest times, one of the most dangerous times.
Yep, that's when they start moving in. When the darker it gets, the closer they get.
Judy says incredible captures.
There you go.
Cube says walking wolf problem I see in that video. Yes.
And we're going to show a couple of pictures of those, what we have.
Jennifer says I live stream to Facebook for safety when I go out to do chores and walk my dog. Yep.
Oh, good.
They don't like to be filmed.
Mm-hmm.
Judy says her heart cries, I suppose because of seeing how many pull downs and how close they are. She says, I can do this on the daily rides. Yes.
Yeah, yeah. And Lyrical Jazzy says, oh my gosh, I could not imagine the fear that you feel, Jennifer. But remember, you got this. And you're not alone.
Right.
Don't worry about that.
Shade says that's a lot of work.
I don't know if that was you, Shade, or if that was Wedge, who donated $10 the other day and said this is for gas or something. And then I thought about that. I said, well, we'll have that 10 for next month because it takes a month prior before it comes in.
But we sure appreciate
So
it.
we used another 10 for this month to use that for the gas.
And Jennifer, we tried to tell her that we're not there to get paid, but she has paid for the next course. She's going to be in our next coursework class,
Mm-hmm.
and she donated on top of that, and we're very grateful for that. That takes a good burden on, and it allows us to keep doing what we got to do.
So now we got gas, and we got to get, because we
She
also
didn't have to do that. You know, we wanted her
Yeah.
to put it into lighting, but she insists that she's okay, that it won't cut into that. And they do have a point. In some situations, you don't want a motion detector lights would be better than a stay on all the time security light if you don't want people to know where you are and to be spotlighting yourself back in there. So that is a very valid point. So in that case, motion detector lights would be better.
Yeah, and also we're going to have to get more gas and bar chain oil
Yeah, we keep forgetting to take that with us.
and
Yeah.
water and Gatorade.
Yeah. You should lots of Gatorade. Lots of Gatorade.
Lots of electrolytes. Ooh, you can sweat out there.
Jennifer says, thanks, Lyrical. I'm extremely cautious as I also have 5 cats inside, all depending on me for protection. I'm blessed I have a big dog to alert me, though. And she also has chickens, which are good. Understand why you have to, it is good to have them. And she's doing her best to secure them.
And it's also
But the
good.
predators have been messing with her chicken coop.
And it's also good when people take that responsibility of pets and the children and the family.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you say, those kids are my responsibility, so I'm going to go outside every time they go outside and watch that tree line while they have fun. Or those chickens or those cats, those are my responsibility, so I'm going to make sure they're safe. Because, those cats, those dogs, and those chickens will warn you. They'll help you too. They'll say,
And when the predator sees them out there alone, whether it's a child or an adult or a pet, they're going, that one's abandoned, that one's not loved, that one's vulnerable.
Yeah, nobody's watching that one. Yeah, that's a wild place.
It
And
is
if you get there, you really don't want to just go tromping off and running through the woods.
beautiful but wild.
It is,
doubt.
and it'll be tamed soon.
Judy says, Lee, Jennifer, I'm also very cautious. I have my children to watch over. That's right.
You sure do. You sure do.
We were talking about the other day how grandmothers are some of the fiercest warriors we have, the ones that are often the first to notice what's going on. And they get blown off a lot by the men who, some of them are just trying to make sure that nobody gets too afraid. And so they try to say, maybe it was this, maybe it was that. And then some just completely dismiss and are saying things like that's a 7-foot possum.
Yeah, it's
It's
something
a house cat. You
to
know?
have that many men in the world to scoff and laugh, even at their spouse or at their children.
Yeah.
You know, so trying to blow. You know, when the children tell you they seen something out there, or your wife, or
Pay
even,
attention.
yeah, anyone really. If anyone tells you, take it serious and check it out.
And that goes for inside the house too. Spiritual warfare. When your child acts afraid of a certain area of the house or a closet or something like that, or if don't cause people to begin to doubt their own sanity just because you didn't see it, because these things happen in isolation, because that works towards their goals of isolating people. If they can make you feel crazy, if they can get you to fight and be frustrated, that isolate you even more, so they don't reveal themselves to groups of people as often as they do individuals.
We had a person call us about a week ago, maybe a week and a half. They knew some things were going on, and they talked about their daughter, or maybe it was a granddaughter.
Yeah.
They said that they feel like there's something in the closet and that they're being bothered. And so we said, well, we want you to take everything out of that closet, take everything out of that room, turn lights on, put that bed on the floor. You know, if it's up, raised up, take whatever's raising up, put it on the floor, and let's see what happens then. And we haven't had a call back yet.
Not yet.
But we did give them other advice on things to do also. But
take it serious. Get rid of the clutter.
There's a lot of things. The fairies, these little things. There's trolls. There's
any kind of predator or parasite, and we lump it all together, whether it's this big or 30, 40 feet tall.
Yeah.
They're predators. Just think of it as like all the creatures in the sea. Everything in the sea pretty much wants to eat you.
Mm-hmm.
If you could see into spirit world, that's what you would see.
Yeah. Not Stars says, thank you, Jerry and Lead Tracker E. Very welcome. We thank y'all for all y'all's help and support.
Stars.
Fish, orange, white eyes. It must be. But check this out. And I was thinking about that the other day. I said, man, I wish we had a brush hog out here.
War Chief, I wish y'all had a tractor and brush hog up there to help cut down all that undergrowth.
I was thinking that same thing. We could just brush hog the whole area and then come back and go back over with something smaller.
Maybe one day, or maybe let's pray somebody puts God in the path. And she also has to be careful of, who comes around there, because I've had lands crews in the past that, somebody that I'm thinking I'm doing them a favor and get my lawn done, and they turn out to be a predator themselves. So especially women by themselves have to be very careful of people with children, of unsavory people taking advantage of their situations.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where that also praying for discernment comes in.
And over the land, everything.
Thank you, Night Star.
Thank you, Night Stars. Everyone's thanking you. Thanking you. Wow. Antis before. All right. Judy says
same way. They need a tractor and a brush hog too. Yeah.
No, they need one too, huh? Yeah, it sure does.
It's thick there. Mm-hmm. Night Star says that looks great.
It was a lot of work, and we got a lot more to do.
We're getting there.
We're getting there.
And we didn't show. We do have a picture of Jennifer, but I wasn't comfortable showing it just because we want to keep you safe, Jennifer. We just feel like it's a small town. We just want to keep you safe.
And if you're hot and sweaty, it doesn't make the best photos.
Oh, whatever. He's messing with you. It's
sometimes I'm like, so I didn't take
photos. Just don't.
Well, I'm saying I didn't take any photos of me because my face was big
mine
red.
Close up.
I had sweat coming down. I was like,
mine wasn't close up.
I was like, I don't want to take any photos today.
I just don't want any identifying information.
Yeah.
And even though she's brave lady, fierce little warrior. And I say little as in petite, not in a dismissive way.
She comes out of her house the way I would come out.
Like
If I
Tomb
had-
Raider. We love it.
If I had what she had, because at one time I only had a spear.
Yeah.
A wooden spear and a knife, and that's the way I come out of the house,
Yeah.
with that wooden spear and knife. And she comes out with what she has.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
But that's the way I would come out too. Look at that.
Right.
She's set.
We just want to make sure that there's just too many weirdos,
Mm-hmm.
human predators, on top of what you're already dealing with. Joyce says, "Wow, Jerry and Ellie, you're amazing. What a blessing you are. May God bless you and meet all your needs." Thank you, Joyce, and we feel the same about you.
Yeah, thank you, Joyce.
Night Star says, "M plant blinds. LOL. I can't take them down, but I try."
Oh,
blinds,
yeah.
And people can create their own blinds with junk piles too.
Yeah.
And I used to be guilty of it.
Yeah, anything, debris, they can use anything. So even when you cut it down, chop it back up as much as you can. And we're going to do a lot of that when we get back, Jennifer. We need to take a lot of, make them smaller.
Yeah.
What we left.
Maybe in that field behind, in front of your yard, maybe they would agree to do a bonfire there or something, or I don't know. In some cases, people can get the volunteer fire departments to do a controlled burn for training, to get rid of some stuff. That might be an option some of you can look into if you need help in your areas.
Mm-hmm.
Pamela Smith says, "Thank you for all you do. Prayers to all." Thank you. And thank you for always being so supportive and sharing our posts and things, Pamela. JR says, "Scott Carpenter documented Bigfoot juveniles coming on his porch and lifting the lid off his dog food container." See, exactly.
Oh, yeah. You leave them food.
You
They
bet.
know what's
You
out there.
bet.
They're coming
We've got
for it.
the one on the porch with the in a hoodie sitting there. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Harpin' Blues is back. Hey, guys.
All right. Harpin' Blues. Harpin' Blues is Catal, CT. And Catal is, how you doing? All good. Harpin' Blues. Shade Viking is saying.
Well, nobody else, what you guys do and help folks like that. That's the spirit. Good stuff. Very admirable.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you, Shade. And we appreciate you guys. Cube says 100% Shade, you are correct.
Thank you so much.
And we were talking about earlier, I love that phrase, nobody can do everything, but everybody can do something. There's some kind of way that you can help. And I know we all got our own things we got to do, but sometimes we just got to do a little extra.
Mm-hmm.
Drunken Squirrel says, "Except for Steve, all men neighbors think I'm nuts."
And
Yeah.
all the men are just, not all the men,
Many men.
many men who are that way. It's just irritating to see that they would be that way, or being a mocker or a heckler, when there's things, if they really looked, if they took the time to listen, try to learn, try to see what we're showing, they'll see it. They'll see the signs.
And it's simple fixes.
It is. And it's around their house,
If
around their
everybody
own
would just
children.
work together, yeah.
And a lot of those people have missing pets, and they'll blame it on dragonfly before they'll blame it on
Well, yeah,
a predator.
sometimes they stretch their imagination so much further to deny the reality of what's going on than just accepting what's going on.
I know.
It
It's a
sounds crazy
7-foot
because it is
possum.
crazy. It's okay.
Had that game
Yeah.
ranger say it was a 7-foot possum
Yeah,
looking
yeah.
from his window.
Jennifer says gaslighting is abusive. It's terrible. Yeah.
Yeah.
Jennifer says, "I recall what the." Oh no, Shade said. Where are we? Okay. Jennifer says, "I think predators do mind control too, confusing those around us." Sorry, Drunken Squirrel, I get that too. Yes, we've got the mind control, the mind protection technique in the book to stop that.
Yeah, you got to use it.
And go ahead.
Shade says,
Harpin' Blues, we need to you need the book.
Where's he at?
Could go right down the list of the things.
Harp and Blues?
Yep. We'll get back to you, but you definitely need the book because textbook, every question you had is answered in that book.
I didn't know he was answering.
Well, no, I'm talking about conversations on the side also.
Okay.
Shade says, I recall what the Lord told my mother one day. She was at work doing rounds and she was thinking to God, why me? I'm nobody, etc. Sorry, though, I have to finish his story, believe it or not. So let's go back to Shade. Go down to Shades so we can finish the story. So she walked into a room of a lady who never talked, just she was not there. And the woman grabbed my mother's arm and the voice of the Lord spoke through her and said, it is because of these hands. These hands have helped so many, the Lord said. Oh, I got chills. Yes, so trust the Lord notices very much when we help others. Salute. Wow.
Yeah.
Story.
And we was talking the first day when we was helping out there. We was talking about God all day. And
yeah. She's a very faith-filled person.
The things that we're all going through, and then things arrived in the mail the same day, and things that just was like the days that.
Oh yeah, the cross. Yeah.
So we just keep. So
when he wants you to help someone, he will provide the means for you to be able to help someone.
And when we see signs like this, we know
it's so encouraging.
We're like, okay. Let's see. Let's do Drunken Squirrels again.
She says, Steve says, y'all do great alms for people. God bless you and thank you. Well, thank you.
Thank you.
And very much appreciated your message earlier. We always appreciate your prayers.
Let's see. Jennifer
says, thanks for caring to keep me unidentified. Yeah, you're a great person. We don't want anything to happen to you.
No, I'm going to keep you around.
Yeah, you're getting work done for the,
Yeah, we love people that does what they need to do.
Yeah. Joyce says, Jennifer, I will be keeping you in my prayers. Good. Joyce is an amazing prayer warrior. Drunken Squirrel says, we freeze our scraps in plastic and put it out last on garbage day. Hint from my granny. Perfect. That's what we do too. Perfect.
Good.
Jennifer says, please and thank you, Joyce. I appreciate that more than you know.
Sure does.
Yeah.
Oh, look at War Chief.
Thank you for that. We know you got your own. Thank you for that.
Yeah. Thank you, War Chief. And we know you're out there too.
Cutting wood. He's got like 70 trees because of the hurricanes. It's insane what he's been going through. He's doing his own land clearing.
Yeah, he is. He's helping everybody. All of our trackers are helping people all over the place.
Yeah. Shade says, well, we know it. Salute, War Chief.
Yes. Thank you so much. Wow.
We caught up?
Yeah, we are caught up.
Okay, let's get
Jennifer on the phone.
You ready for?
Or do you want to come on?
Do you want to do I think she said a regular phone call.
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna call you, Jennifer.
So everyone give us a second. We're gonna welcome Jennifer. There's Katie Seal. Look, she just got here.
Hey Katie, how you doing?
Or you may have been here.
We thank God for you too.
Sure do, Katie. Everybody saying hello. Good job.
Okay. This one?
Yeah.
I hope y'all can hear.
Hello.
Hey, Jennifer.
Can you hear me okay?
Can everyone hear you okay? Can y'all hear Jennifer okay? Turn that fan on.
You may have to say a couple things. Test 1 2. Test 1 2.
Turn that thing.
Okay, great. Great, Beard. Thank you.
All right. Hey, everybody says they can.
Okay, good. So should we start with pulling some photos up for you?
Yeah, and I'm trying to see if I can actually play the video at the same time because I put headphones on. Let me try. I think the video is going to be a little bit behind. So if you just tell me what photo you have up, I'll just talk
Okay.
about it.
Okay.
We wanted to kind of go back and talk about some of these day photos, and then we'll get into the night photos.
Okay.
Can you see it?
Well, I can't play video at the same time, really, because it's got a delay on it. So.
Okay, this is one you've got a red arrow pointing up between two trees at the dark shadow in between the two trees.
Okay. Yeah, I always catch these shadows, actually, and I can't identify the Bigfoots when they're that far away. So what I do is I zoom in my camera and I take a picture, and then I take that picture and zoom in further, blow it up and crop it, you know, so it's just real obvious, and you can see the face and the eyes and the nose and everything looking at us. So those images, like the dark spaces, they're like you saw when you came here, they're everywhere, like facing my door.
Right.
It's really like haunting. So, and I didn't know that until you guys were showing the shadow language, you know, how to see where they are, because I always thought that was just where the shadow was. I didn't know there was creatures hiding in that.
Right.
So, and they seem to always be there, like you said, like right before twilight in the afternoon. If I take a picture, like when the sun is starting to go down and blow it up, they're there. In fact, I tried to stop doing that before I have to go outside to take care of my chickens because it's just too frightening. Like,
Yeah.
I don't want to see exactly what's there. I mean, I take my dog and we go out and just do our stuff in a hurry. If I'm live streaming, I usually don't hear anything. But like that one time, remember I sent you guys a message and I said, Bigfoot's incoming, because I had been outside to do my chores, you know, put my chickens back in their coop. They come out of their little protected run during the day, so I have to go out, you know, in the afternoon to put them back in their coop. And when I was out there walking the dog and doing my dishes and everything, I heard like a big tree break. And I was like, oh my goodness, that was too big. I gotta get inside. And that's why I went inside. I notified Donna right away. I was like, okay, there's a Bigfoot outside right now. Don't go out. And, you know, I told her, and then I called, you know, I sent you guys a message immediately just letting you know what was going on, you know. So in case anything escalated, but also so I, you know, have some support emotionally, because sometimes it's a little overwhelming.
Yeah.
So, once that happens, you know, then I just go inside and I try to just close the door and just let things cool down outside. I do a lot of cooling down, like even after I go out and mow the lawn or something, and I get a little pushback from them too. Like I'll get little like broken branches left from me that I know weren't there the other day, and I know it didn't come off a tree. So they do kind of push back on me, like when I mow the lawn or I do certain things. So I just try to give them cooling off too. Like I'll come inside for days. I will not go outside. I'll just leave it all alone. And then all of a sudden I'll be like, okay, now it's time to push them back again. So then I go outside and do all my stuff. But yeah, the dark areas are pretty much always there. And I did notice that part that was by the gate where you guys just cleaned, and I kept looking at that, but I didn't know what was sitting there. You know, it kind of looked like a tunnel, but I wasn't sure. And so I'm glad you guys did identify that that's one of their doings, because I noticed the tree pulled down outside the gate only recently, and that's when I like the feelers went up on my head, like, oh no, they're hunting the UPS driver. Because the UPS and FedEx always stop at that gate and they leave our packages on the trash truck. So that pull down, that's for them. That's where they stop, Because usually when we're coming or going, the gate's open because we leave it open if we leave and come back. But it's closed even when the UPS comes. So I knew that pull down was for them. So it's just, the anxiety just went through the roof once I saw that. And I was like, okay, we need to cut that when you guys are here. So I did go over there and cut that one down. But I did notice, I think we got before pictures too, that there was pull downs to where I wash my dishes outside. They must have been watching me wash dishes. And what's scary is I've heard the movement, but I never saw them.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I heard a movement, I look, and I see nothing.
Yeah.
That is so scary. So now I keep my dog tied around my waist, even doing my dishes. I'm like, come on, dog, we're going to go do dishes because I'm not going over there by myself.
Yeah.
It's just at the back of my trailer. But I try to keep the dog right next to me because he's the first alert. I don't expect him to, fight the Bigfoot. But I told him he can have the first bite, and then mommy has to chop him with the machete. Get him after you get the first bite done. But, that's all I can do is just raise my level of difficulty. I think of it like there's easy targets and there's hard targets, and I have to make myself the hardest target I can. So I got my dog, I got my machete, I got my dagger, I got my phone.
Got your faith.
I'm just trying to make myself a harder target without being too hard. I'm not sure if I'm ready for a gun, even though I probably should have one. But I'm a California girl, I'm not used to carrying one. And I'm not sure if I'm ready for that. But the machete, I'm sure they don't want to feel that. Me chopping up their arm or anything. So they've not approached me yet, but I have heard the steps, and I could not see what was walking, and that itself is just so scary. Yeah. So I use caution. I don't live in fear per se, because I'm not going to be giving them a reason to attack me. So I try not to be fearful, but I live cautiously. So I'm constantly even telling them, if I hear them, I tell them, hey, get out of here. And I say it much louder than that, but I'm not going to scream in your guys' ears. So I do yell at them and tell them to get out in the name of Jesus and all that stuff. And
you also play hymns and some music.
Yeah. What I had to do, because my chicken coop was needing more reinforcement. So I took my Bluetooth speaker out, and I looked up some old Gregorian chants with an exorcism chanting, and I played that loudly out towards those dark spots you guys see in the tree line, so I could get my chicken coop done. I had to do something, I had to be out there for hours. So I have my dog, and I was playing that. And it helped. I have to say, I did not hear anything move while that was on. I did not hear any tree breaks while that was on. Really, basically nothing. Nothing made any noise while that was playing, and I wasn't live streaming, so it did work. It seemed like it did deter them a little. So I played the chanting. I played some Christian music, and I played a sung rosary. For people who aren't Catholic, the rosary is a recitation of the stories of Jesus' life, and it goes with some scripture. So it's a sung scripture, if that makes any sense. Muslims kind of recite the Quran. Well, it's the rosary is reciting the Hail Mary, which is part of scripture. So they don't like that. They definitely don't want to hear anything from the Bible. And I figure if the creature's demonized, it will leave us alone. And if it's not demonized, then it's not as, I don't want to say not as dangerous, but it's not as apt to act according to a devil, because if it's not possessed, then it's not going to do that. So I kind of like use layers, you know. So I got my dog, I got my weapons, I got my music. I'm just trying to layer it up, and I also got some solar lights. I charge my solar lights every day. I turn those on too, just to keep, you know, like my area lit around my RV, to keep it away. I just want to keep it at a distance. But I have to say, they still, even with lights, they still will walk up to my chicken coop and move things. And what's interesting is they actually could have already gotten chickens, but they haven't. What they've done is they've moved stuff. Like, they've moved one thing on the top. And so I think they're trying to see if, like, I'm going to move it back or something. Like, maybe they want to move one thing every day until they can get in there. But I've got padlocks all over the place. I put hardware cloth. Like, it came with hardware cloth. I've doubled that up. I've got it underneath. I've got it on the sides. I doubled it everywhere I could, so they can't just, you know, poke their way in. If they're going to do something, it's going to be noticeable. They're not going to be able to trick anybody. No tricks to be done here. We will know when we did it. So
now, Jennifer, we've got the picture up of the eye shine, and some of those, in some of the eye shine photos, it's 2 sets of eyes.
yes. Oh, yes.
Yeah.
We have what you said, a breeder and the spawns. We have breeders here. We have more than one. There's another picture I haven't sent yet. I'll have to send it to you later, that I got the other day in a different area. But yes, the one that I caught in the pond, what happened was, I was looking outside, like, late at night, and sometimes, you know, I'm a human being, so I got frustrated, and I was like, you know what, I just want these things out of here. So I took my floodlight, you know, I have my floodlight, it's a Ryobi rechargeable. The thing is, like, bright as the sun, and thank God I thought to buy that before I moved here, because it's so bright that it goes clear across the pond. And I was frustrated that night, and I was like, I just want these suckers out of here. So I started flashing it back and forth, and I kept saying, get out of here, get out of here, get out of here. And you know what? It did frustrate them. They saw that light flashing back and forth, that they started moving in the pond. And as they started moving, I saw the eye shine, and I was like, ooh, that's big. And then when I saw it look at me, the eyes were like a foot apart. And that's when I knew this is a Bigfoot. And I just happened to be live streaming to Facebook. So there's no hiding it. They cannot hide it. They cannot say it wasn't here.
Right.
It is documented. People have seen it. I've got screenshots. It's done deal. Like, that is like absolutely out there, and people have seen it. So, but yeah, it had like a foot between the eyes. It kept moving in the pond, so I kept live streaming, even though I wasn't sure how these things would react. Like, honestly, I was kind of afraid that it was going to come over here, but it didn't. But I kept watching it, and eventually it went behind a tree to hide, and it crawled out of the pond and stood up. I was like, oh my, you know, it's one thing thinking it's a Bigfoot, but it's another thing to actually see it become a Bigfoot in front of your eyes.
Yes.
So that's like my first experience seeing it. And when it stood up, you know, I'm watching it through my Zoom camera, but I could see it with my real eyes too. The eye shine was so big. I mean, we're talking like the Coke can sized eyes, huge. And so I'm watching it with my eyes, plus watching it with the camera, plus live streaming it, and trying to control my floodlight. It got out of the pond with babies, or what you'd say is spawn. It came out of the pond with its spawn, and there were like little things running around its feet that look, you know, like little creatures looking at mommy. They got the big old eyes. They're running around its feet. And she wasn't even trying to hide at that point. In fact, I think I saw her just give in. She was like, oh no, I'm caught, you know, and she just closed her eyes. She didn't even move. She just closed her eyes, and I kept seeing the creatures going around her ankles. I'm like, oh, this is terrible. But I was glad I caught it, you know, because people need to know what's going on, you know, and I'm one of the type, I warn everybody, so I'm just like spreading information like wildfire everywhere I can, so people don't just have heart attacks when they see this stuff, you know, and so that's what that was. So there was more than one. In fact, the video I got of it was like, you know, the breeder plus the few spawns, plus there was ones behind that one.
Yeah.
Like once they found out what was going on, there were more behind her looking my way. Like, you know, that's, you know, I got kind of like a little bit worried, but they didn't do anything. And so, yeah, that's where that came from. So it was my first real catch of eye shine. Like I saw a little bit of eye shine before, but when I realized too, when I reviewed that video, even tonight I was watching it again, there was another Bigfoot in that pond right on my side.
Yeah.
That I didn't see when I was filming. I did not see that, but when I look at the video later, it was right on my side looking at me.
Yeah.
So, and I knew it was because I had, you know, I've been telling Donna, like, oh, I'm not mowing around the pond because I know there's frogs right there and I didn't want to kill the frogs. And, you know, we talked about the frog thing the other day. Like, I don't have to worry about the frogs because they're probably like from the demon side too. But anyway, I didn't mow right there. And, you know, God led me to see like little eye shine before this big eye shine, and it was like, you need to mow there. And so I did weed whack like right next to me, but of course it grew back already. So by that time it was already grown back. But yeah, it was really scary to see it, like even on review, that there's more than what I thought I saw. There's even more than that. So
yeah. We always tell people there's never just one, and the movies are always just about one. It's rare that you find a movie that they show that there's more than one, and there's always more than one. And if you can easily see one, you know that there's others that are sneaking up on usually the left side.
Yeah.
But we're
So
very
they're
proud
in
of
the
how
pond.
brave you are. Don't want you taking any extra chances. You don't have to prove anything to anyone. You've already more than enough evidence, not that you needed it. You know, we absolutely 100% believe you. Don't put yourself in any unnecessary danger. And you're doing a real good balance of pushing back but not attacking, you know, and it is a balancing act. You're going to have to, you know, stay in constant prayer about it, and we'll help you as much as we can and as often as we can. And but like you're saying, not to go too far all at once and create an even worse problem, because you're in an area that really, if you just had another option, we'd say, yeah, go take that, move there. But this is what it is, and you are where you are, and it is beautiful property, but it is probably always going to be a struggle right there in that property.
Yeah, and I told the property owner, you know, I've told her a couple times, you know, that we can push them back, but we are right next to that Kiamichi River. Am I saying that right?
Kiamichi? Uh-huh.
Yeah, so I was telling her that tonight. We are right next, you know, we're too close to that Kiamichi River, and that comes, you know, with the Bigfoot. They're going to come down that river, you know. And so I've put her on alert that this is not going away. And, you know, she's going to have to make decisions based on that, you know, and so am I. I'm weighing all my options on what's going to be best. You know, I need to protect my cats and my dog.
And
my
yourself
too. I mean, I need to protect them no matter what. So, but I'm also really worried about the city, and I'm really worried about this particular property being a problem for the city. I'll tell you that right away, because there's breeders here. There's more than that group. I already caught a picture of another one. So,
well, and it's not just there. It's this entire area of southeastern Oklahoma, and really everywhere we've gone, though.
Really?
Yeah, but not everybody has a pond 20 feet out their back door.
Yeah, yeah.
So, I mean, there is activity everywhere, but yours is especially intense right there.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So she's been notified, that it is an issue, and it's not going to be solved. We can try to mitigate it, but it's not, particularly solvable. I mean, we can't take out every Bigfoot in Oklahoma. It's not something feasible. So.
Right. The ideal situation is somewhere with a very good line of sight. And I used to be somebody who loved the closer the tree was. If I could have lived in a tree house, I would have. But I just know better now. So,
yeah, I know. I love the trees too, but we're not alone.
Yeah. But you're doing an amazing job. You listen to. We don't get frustrated with you at all. There's some people that we would go and help, and things would get better, and the situation would begin to improve, and then they go right back into the same old dangerous habits again, and that gets frustrating. Then we're like, why are we wasting our time? We don't get that impression with you. You're applying absolutely everything, plus coming up with ideas of your own.
Yeah.
And we just couldn't be more proud of you.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm trying. I'm doing my best.
Has anything changed since we were there? Anything new?
I saw another breeder. I did catch that on a photo in the same dark areas that you guys were photographing. So not much has changed. I feel better, so much better being able to see that gate though. And, I don't think the landowner really realized how much danger she was in driving in and out of that bridge. Plus, I was scared to walk my dog out that bridge because every time we went by there, it's always a risk. And I watch my dog for signs, is he alerting to anything? And sometimes he would, sometimes he wouldn't. So I was kind of depending on him. Plus, the way out that way, like I know you guys saw that they broke that tree at the bar at the top, by the highway. And so that whole strip right there is one of those, there's blinds the whole way down.
Yeah.
And I've notified that owner too, and she's very aware. Like she's even admitted that she's seen a chupacabra in the past, not here, but in another place. So when I finally broke the news to her, I'm seeing I'm hearing tree breaks that are bigger than any human can do. She understood, she's not like gaslighting me or anything. She understood, and she said she wished she could help. It's just her mom is like needing, I think her mom is needing medical care, so she's just too inundated. She can barely get out to mow her lawn, but she's real good. She does come out and she mows her lawn out there all the time, and I'm always kind of worried. Like today I walked out just a little bit because she's out there by herself on that lawnmower, so I go out there sometimes just to walk and just be an extra person out there.
Mm-hmm.
But she's aware, so I let her know. The neighbors to the east, I let them know. The neighbors to our west, I think they already do. They have guns, and I always hear the guns going off, so I'm pretty sure they know. I just never walked over there because I'm not sure who it is. And I just haven't had time. I've just been researching nonstop since I found the Bigfoot issue. I've been like hundreds of hours of just listening to so many testimonies just to hear every experience people have had, to keep us safe. I want to see what these creatures do, and I'm so glad I found you guys and didn't fall into like the trap of feeding them, because I had people telling me to feed them and I didn't.
We're so glad too.
Yeah, I had people telling me, like, even on my Facebook, I had someone telling me that, and I'm like, researching it, I usually don't take people's word for it, thank God, because I was like, okay, well, that sounds nice and everything, and then I found the stories about how people were feeding them and then got attacked later. So I was like, oh my, I'm not doing that.
Yeah. I would say you're sharper than the average person. You catch on quicker than the average person.
I'm more paranoid.
Well, I mean, is it paranoid if it's correct though? There's
Yeah, it's paranoia that helps me, actually. I says it's an asset, really, in this day and age. It's good to be a little bit cautious, you know?
absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, I had something I was going to ask. Shoot, I should have wrote it down. There was one question I was going to ask you. Sorry, I lost it.
That's okay. Yeah, I forget to. Yeah, in the area, like directly down the driveway from us, there's a ditch with trees growing like across the highway, and the Bigfoots go over there and they hang out. Like I can hear them talking to each other in the ditch. Yeah, they're like, I can hear them talking over there sometimes. And so, you know, I'm a big hiker. Like I used to hike everywhere. I'd ride my bicycle 23 miles one way or something just to get to the store, you know. Kind of try to stay, you know, a little in shape. But here, I bought some exercise equipment for the inside because now I'm like, I can't ride my bike down the highway. It's not safe. And I've walked it. I did walk down the highway quite a bit. And now I realize how it's not safe to do that. So I'm just exercising indoors now, just to make sure I'm not getting, you know, sick myself, you know, from not getting any exercise. So it's quite the adventure here, trying to stay safe and stay healthy at the same time, you know. Yeah.
You know, we on the interview we were listening to earlier today that someone had sent us. The guy was a real estate guy or a developer, something like that. And he knows all about the Bigfoot. He knows he's been afraid of the Bigfoots. But when he sells property and then somebody a week later is like, you got to take this back. I don't want this property because of the Bigfoots. He said he doesn't, the host asked him, do you tell people about it? He said, well, I do if they ask. That is just unconscionable to me.
Yeah.
He knows the danger of them. He's been scared himself. And if people don't know about them at all, they'd be like, oh yeah, I forgot to tell you the cannibals live next door. You know.
Yeah, it's attempted murder, and if they do kill someone, it is murder. It's an accomplice to a crime.
He was talking about, and the last people had left a really super high dollar tent, which we talked about this on our streams before. Some of these realtors, and I'm not saying this particular guy, but some will resell the same property on purpose, and they get all those down payments, they get all those deposits, they get all that. The stuff left behind. People will leave with their dinner still on the table, leave everything behind to escape some of these situations. And it's just,
that's terrible.
It's not right. That would be a vessel of darkness. People that try to profit off of that and don't warn people of the dangers and try to justify that in their own minds. Well, if they don't know, it won't hurt them. You know, I don't know. I hope that the people that sold Donna that property, which you said it had been empty for quite a while, right? Like, did you say 8 years?
Yes. Yes, it was empty for 8 years. Yeah. And, you know, to me, I kind of see that there's an issue because, like, there's no way. I mean, there is no way that someone didn't know something was here. I think someone tried to poison this pond because when we first moved here, it was like winter time, and so I thought everything was dead just because it was frozen. But I noticed even in springtime when everything came back, so many things around the pond area were dead. Mm-hmm. It's a lot better now, but it was dead, like all the way around the side. And I'm talking grass, trees, everything. Yeah. So it's like, what killed all the grass and trees? That seemed really suspicious to me. And I thought that even before I knew the Bigfoots were here. And I also was thinking something was in the pond even before I knew like all the details, because I think God was trying to warn us. I think, you know, I kept telling her something is in your pond. There is something living in your pond. And I had no idea why I was saying that. I just knew it. And I kept telling her, I think it's God, you know, he's like, here, it's going, it's here, guys, like, be careful. And so, you know, she's been warned. I told her, don't go near that pond. Don't go walking. I think another thing people have to watch out for too is the Bigfoots do mind control. They will lure people out to
Yes.
attack them. Like, she got an idea to go for a walk, and she was like, I'm gonna go walk next door. And I said, no, you don't ever do that. And yeah, she had gotten it in her mind to just take a walk by herself, and she doesn't even have a dog, and she don't carry a weapon usually. And so I said, no, you don't ever do that, ever.
In
And,
fact, there's
you know,
someone in the stream tonight that, and we need to talk to them about that too. They first heard of us on another channel, and one thing I want to say to them is we do not pray to the Bigfoot, never, ever. We don't want any kind of communication with them whatsoever. The only thing I can think of how they might have misconstrued is
I think
when
she got mind controlled by the Bigfoot. She
Yeah.
wasn't praying to them, but I think they tried to lure her next door.
yeah.
So I told her, don't ever do that. You know, don't go walking by yourself. I
No.
mean, even for human predators, you don't want to do that. You know?
So we teach about the mind protection technique in the book, and just in
Yeah.
general, real quick, that is, and you want to practice this when you're not in a stressful situation. You
Yeah.
empty your mind of everything. And I know you know this, Jennifer, already because you already have the book, but you empty your mind of everything. This is not the same as praying to God. That's different. And this is not the same as meditation. You don't want to be wide open for anything to come in. This is
Yeah.
lockdown on the brain. But first you told your body, get me back to the house, get me back to the car, whatever it is you need to do. You give your
Yes.
body its instructions, and then you shut down everything so that there's no internal dialogue whatsoever, and that blocks out what's going. You can practice doing that around your house.
Yes.
I'm going to go over there and wash the dishes, but I'm not going to allow any internal dialogue, and practice like that. Make it easier under those circumstances, because they absolutely will try to lure you out into besides the mimicking, but also with different voices. And that's also part of spiritual warfare. And if they're demonic in nature, besides demonic bloodline, no talking to ourselves, no, when I'm saying internal dialogue for, and we're not talking to ourselves, not a constant conversation. You just want silence. If we can practice that, it will help during those times when they're trying to project thoughts into our mind, or fear into our mind, or anything to get the adrenaline pumping. That's what they want, because they're feeding off that energy. And they want you disoriented, or they want you running and, you know, breaking thresholds and things like that. That's why they do that. So we call that the mind protection technique.
Always think about when we talk about the mind protection technique, and that's where you don't think about the past, present, or the future, and you don't talk to yourself inside. It's like you're just seeing what's going on. You're not thinking of anything, because if you're trying to think or do things in your head, that's still communication going on. That's still an open threshold. So I used to say that to practice the mind protection technique, because when you try to shut everything off in your mind and not think of anything when you first start it, you may only get about a second before you start talking to yourself,
It's hard.
or 10 seconds. And then if you can do it for 10 seconds, it go for 20 seconds, because we're naturally trying to communicate all the time. So we're either talking to ourselves, or we're thinking about what happened on YouTube, and that's all still open dialogue, and that they can still use that infrasound to penetrate, or that telepathy to because we're open. So we want to shut everything off and shut everything down, but program our body to go to the car, to the house, or to get that weapon while we're in this state. But we have to practice it. And I always said it's It's just as easy as turning on ice cold water and jumping underneath it and holding your breath. It's that easy. And if anybody's been under cold water or something, the first thing you're going to do is take a big gasp of air because that water is hitting you. But if you can practice that, I mean, we also practice that because we want to train for cold water. If we fall into cold water, we want to know not to naturally gasp for air because that's the quickest way to drown.
Suck in that water.
So we have to practice that also. But practicing the mind protection technique is difficult, but with practice, it will protect that mind. But usually people only get about 1 to 3 seconds before they start thinking about something else. So it is something that you have to practice. It's not something you can do just that quick. But until you get it down, our thresholds are open. So we need to learn to shut down so that none of that infrasound or those telepathy or voices can penetrate. We want to build that shield up to protect our mind, which protects our body.
Before I knew about that, if I would get scared, like I would even try to say the Lord's Prayer, but then you would get a block, or I would get a block, like I could only get so far. And I'm like, I know this. But if I would sing hymns, it would, for some reason, the melody I could remember more easily. So I would do that out there in certain areas of the forest that I would get disoriented in, or different odd things would happen. I would sing those hymns, and that helped.
You can also run numbers in your head. The numbers don't have to make sense at all, but it's just keeping your mind focused on running numbers instead of trying to accept what's being, trying to enter your mind.
Which a lot of people, abuse victims, will do that. I know as a kid, I would count to get through certain situations. I would just count. And that would, it's a form of dissociation, which in some cases is very good to get you out of a situation, just some ideas.
Yeah, I need to practice that one more because I actually have felt them disorienting me inside. Like I've been inside and been disoriented.
Yeah.
So of course I'm not going outside when that happens. Yeah, so I need to practice that more. But I don't know if I told you guys that time when that storm came through and they were trying to lure us out with my dog. Like there was a big storm, and knowing probably they weren't going to trick me, they were trying to make my dog think he had to go outside. Like he was pulling an emergency. He was like acting like, I gotta go. And I'm like, no, you do not. I know you just went. I am not going outside with that storm. I mean, it was like really thunder, lightning, everything. And sure enough, like later on when I did take him, he didn't even need to go. I think they were mind controlling my dog even to try to get us outside.
Yeah. Yeah. And you also, didn't you say the other day you heard your name?
Oh, that was really trippy. Yes, when you were here, you guys were up on the bridge doing the cutting and whatever. I'd come back here or something for some water, and I heard a tiny voice say, Jennifer. And that was it. And it was tiny. It didn't even sound like something I would think was a Bigfoot. Now I'm researching little people because I'm all like, what is this? But yeah, it just was a tiny, tiny voice that said my name. Yeah. And I heard it clear as day, though. And it wasn't in my head. It was like outside. Like it was outside. Like I heard
another little predator.
But even little fairies will do that too. They'll come up to your ears and whisper in your ears, or to them would be talking. But
none of them are for any good. None of them are our friends.
Yeah.
Even what we think are the cute ones, if we could really, when we can really see them, they're not cute. In their true form.
Yeah.
So, but good for you for stopping Donna and realizing that she was being compelled to be out there. Good catch. You really are a godsend to her there.
You
I
are.
try to, I try to tell people, but we have to, I can only go so far. I can't like force people to listen. So
You're right.
I tell them, and I pray, like, I hope they listen.
Yeah. And at some point, if the situation doesn't have a handle on it, and if it becomes too overwhelming, that you have to take care of Jennifer. And once you've done the warning and everything, if you have to, don't feel guilty if you need to move on.
Yeah. And I've warned her too, like, you have to carry a weapon because, our personal protection's our own responsibility. Nobody can protect you when something's attacking you and I don't even see it. It's nothing I can do. And if it's like a group and I know I can't defeat them, I can't protect her either. I can't come out and do anything. All I can do is call the police. And by that time, it's too late. So I told her, you need to carry a weapon. They know you have a weapon. So you're not going to be attacked if they know they're going to get stabbed.
Mm-hmm.
So I've warned her, but each person has to make their own decision, if they're going to take it serious or not. I mean, I take it extremely serious, like but not everybody does. So, I mean, it's just up to each person, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. And we'll get people to try to make us feel guilty for weapons. And we're like, our weapons are for us. They're not for you. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. I ain't wasting my weapons on you. I'm carrying what I need out there.
Not that,
Yeah.
Besides these kind of predators, there's hogs and big cats and snakes. Exactly.
Yeah, and I had to do that even when I lived in Santa Ana, California. I was in a gang area, and I started wearing my dagger because it was legal as long as it's not concealed. And I even had police drones flying over me like I was some terrorist. I'm like, I'm in a gang area. I'm a white girl in a gang area.
Right.
I'm going to strap myself with a dagger, okay? It's normal. But
Yeah.
it's not. They think you're crazy if you're wearing a dagger.
Yeah.
But sure enough, we did get attacked there. I mean, I don't know if you know this, but my fiance at the time, he's Mexican, and he even got attacked by another Mexican kid that was in a gang, and the guy tried to kill him. He's in jail right now.
Wow.
But because Lorenzo had a knife, or his pepper spray, actually at that time he pepper sprayed him. The pepper spray slowed the guy down and saved his life. But if he had not been carrying anything, he probably would be dead.
Right.
So carry your weapons; they work.
They do.
And we talked about that the other day too with David and Goliath. Yes, he had faith and God was with him, but he also had a physical stone and sling.
A projectile.
Yeah.
Yep.
And we consider our ammo to be our stones.
We consider our shotguns to be our sling and our bullets to be our stones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, okay.
Let's get some questions and see if
we're going to run through the comments and see if there's any questions, Jennifer, and then we'll let you go.
Okay.
And we have one more video of the whole thing, and then we'll shut it down after that.
Okay.
Let's see, where are we at?
We can go back up.
Oh, I think this is where they can hear
Katie
us.
Steele had just come in.
This is where they can hear us.
Yeah. Rogues, let's go with. Okay, Shade says, I think War Chief needs a second applause for that one. Maybe for the 70 trees he's been cutting down.
Yeah.
Rogue says, if you see something wrong happening and you have the power to stop it and you don't, you turn your head. That is almost as bad as the perpetrator of the wrong. I agree.
Yeah. When you could do something, we can do something.
Yes.
We can do something.
Cube says, I agree, Roger. We must stand up for what is, or he means Rogue. We must stand up for what is right. Rogue says, we all know what happens when good men do nothing. That's exactly right.
Mm-hmm.
Platinum Dwarf, how you doing? Says, stay safe out there. You too. Drunken Squirrel says, Jennifer, I do the same. Cool off time. They're spiteful creatures. It's a chess game.
Sure is.
Yeah.
Sure is.
We thought that before too. Drunken Squirrel says they try to lure me out at night, not falling for it. Nope.
Oh, good. Oh, so good. Hey, look
They'll
at
make us so proud. There's Jeremy.
Jeremy Wilson. But everyone, y'all all make us so proud when you're not falling for the traps, not stopping for the ambushes.
Jeremy says, Halito, Osio, Ola, hey everybody. At the top left looks a little like one of the big ones with jagged teeth.
Yeah, there's quite a few in there. We were just kind of showing the ones that were easy to be seen. But yes, thank you, Jeremy.
Drunken Squirrel says Gregorian chants, excellent. Prayer of Saint Benedict, Byzantine chants too.
Oh wow. Okay.
Jeremy says, hey, Charles. Joyce says, play songs about the blood of Jesus. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely. And yeah, they don't like that name. Platinum Dwarf says they are attracted to the light too, not always good, and just human people in the situation where they're at. They don't really want anybody knowing that they're living back there in that area. So lights on at night, people will go, oh, hey, what's that? And begin to notice.
And human voices attract all predators.
Especially female voices and children's voices, higher pitch voices.
And even the female or even the male Bigfoots will make the sound of a dog in heat or a cat in heat or even a wildcat or a cougar just to try to attract that prey out.
Drunken Squirrel says, oh, Jennifer, my heavens. Ugh.
Jeremy says they're never alone.
That's right. Drunken Squirrel says, like rats, everyone you see, there's 50 you don't see. Yep.
Yep, that's right.
Elastic Machinery, which is Sebastian, says, oh man, I'm coming in late. Sorry about that. I got home and conked out to bed. I'll be watching the show quietly. Wow, the photos. Glad you're here. Platinum Dwarf. If you want to read.
Okay.
If you compare a Bigfoot to an African lion, it's no contest. Their sonic stun roar has more range and a tight beam. Also, they are 100 to 1,000 times stronger. A warrior can kill a lion with a spear.
There was someone was listening to, and when anybody describes a Bigfoot, they're not saying this overweight, slow, clumsy.
Yeah.
You know, they'll say these things are fit, they're muscular,
graceful,
they're huge, they're strong, powerful. And this is not something you want to tangle with out in the wild without the right weaponry. So,
yeah, most would say I didn't even bother to shoot because I was just going to.
I didn't want to make it mad.
Placement.
Yeah, placement.
Right here.
First shot, right through.
Think of David and Goliath.
Yeah. And cut the head off if you get that chance.
Platinum Dwarf says, I put out the Bigfoot theory for the Russian incident of Dyatlov Pass many years back, only because I saw them stun people twice. So the logical conclusion is they use sonic beams and two different beams.
And
they all different effects.
And they also have bird DNA. They also have fish DNA. So the ecosystem they've got that down too. They can knock people down, throw the echoes.
Drunken Squirrel says, situational awareness is always good. It's not paranoia. Exactly.
It is. You've got to be aware of everything.
Elastic Machinery. And it drives you crazy because it's the people that aren't in the situation or have never seen one that are trying to tell other people that have seen one that ain't what they saw.
Or if they're in that situation.
Makes no sense. Sebastian. Graybeard says, watchman that does not blow a trumpet is liable for the blood spilled. Yes, I got chills on that.
Sure is.
Yeah.
Yep, that's why I'm blowing the trumpet.
Yeah, you're great about that.
For God and say I didn't do nothing,
Exactly.
Yeah. Platinum Dwarf says the victims of Dyatlov Pass were said to have shown effects of radiation poisoning, but that was covering the cavitation of victim cells, which is fatal and painful if not stunned unconscious. We were talking about the radiation the other day that these things emit. Radiation.
Deborah Mueller. Deborah Mueller.
How you doing, Deborah?
She's quietly
Entering. Thankful I caught her live. We're thankful too.
but,
Hopefully we can get back to doing more of them. Elastic Machinery says, I'm sorry, but the first time I watched you guys, there's no possible way that I can see that one could misconstrue something like that. I have never thought you worship anyone other than Christ. I think where they made the mistake is when we said thanking Creator and creation, that doesn't mean we're praying to creation. That just meant thank you, Lord, for the blessings. Thank you for thank you, body, for
in no way,
not in a worshipful way or praying to anyone but the Most High.
And we don't want any Bigfoots even around us. So.
No. And it's a lot. We would, and we'll be able to catch up with them.
And they just misunderstood.
That's all that was. Minor correction. Night Star says, me too. Hymns and praises are the best.
Yeah.
Platinum Dwarf says, the sound beams penetrate barriers and glass. Yep. That's why they can be so effective.
Yeah.
Bernard is here. Hey, Bernard.
Hey,
and congratulations on your good news the other day. And I hope you enjoyed your chocolate cake that your lady made you.
Uh-oh.
That looked good.
Uh-oh. Drunken Squirrel.
Says, they lure me by mimicking cats fighting, usually a sure way to get me out at night, not working anymore.
Oh, yeah. They do mimic everything.
Platinum Dwarf says, that's why they'll find a car out on a forest road, but no occupant. The sound beam can disrupt electronics and penetrate auto glass. That makes perfect sense. Where are we?
Drunken Squirrel.
It says, I've had the same dagger since the early 80s. I still keep it on me. Good.
Graybeard says, what?
His dagger is in 45 auto. There you go. That'll work.
And she has holy water and a rosary.
We've got some faith-filled people.
Yeah.
Cube says, normally my blessed throwing axes and knives are on me when I track, but it's Christ whom I trust more than knives.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay.
War Chief says, if you think about it, you can carry an infrared game camera without walking. That infrared light will keep the predator Bigfoot at bay around you.
Sure will. I was thinking about doing that on set some out about a week before we do a track, and then on the way back, pick them up, but have them running on like a shoulder or someone's backpack or something, because they always follow you out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Tanya got real uncomfortable this last time we went out. She's always asking us to go ahead because she wants to film for their program. But we also don't like her being exposed and being the last one in line there. And this last time, and I've not known her to do that before, to say, I feel like something's behind me. And so I fell back behind her. And we went. Yeah. Wedge says, have they imitated the sound of her animals to lure her outside? Jennifer, have they imitated any of your animals' sounds?
And they'll have them imitated your voice to call the animals, I think.
No, have they imitated the sound of her animals?
No.
Oh.
I think we're at the point now where they don't want to see me because I always yell at them. So
Good.
I'll be outside.
Good.
Yeah, I'll be outside, and if they make any noise in the pond, I'm yelling at them. I tell them, shut up in Spanish. It sounds nicer in Spanish, so I use the Spanish language. Yeah, because it's like less irritating on the ears. So I yell at them to shut up in Spanish and to get, vámonos, get out of here. and stuff. And, you know, I tell them, you touch anything, I'm chopping you up. So I
Yeah.
think they kind of want me to just stay inside, honestly.
And
I
you
think
do a
they want me
lot
to
of
just leave them
rebuking in
alone.
Jesus' name too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Night Star says, after I shot what does it say? After I shot a 20
New
gauge
bow.
shotgun into a new bow area, I felt a huge movement out from behind me, then to my left. I didn't see anything, but I never break prayer if I can.
Good, good. 20 gauge. Go
Drunken
ahead and
Squirrel says,
fire.
whoa, Night Stars. She's been steadily removing bows from a property where she works. Platinum Dwarf says, if we gave human beings a sonic beam rifle like that, we'd be in serious trouble, more so than regular guns being misused. Jay Cree says that's their cognitive dissonance. Glad you're here, Jay Cree. Welcome to the room. Night Star says it was creepy. And Night Star says, God's got me, Graybeard. Thank you. Graybeard says, thanks, Father, for all his blessings. Amen to that.
Yeah, great beard.
Jay Cree says, hello, all. New subscriber here. Welcome. Welcome. And thank you. And also subscribe to the Lead Tracker channel so that if any, that it has extra things on it, but also that will be a backup channel should anything happen to this one.
Mm-hmm.
Drunken Squirrel says, be a pain in their big butts, Jennifer. They do have big butts. The first really clear one that I ever saw, like solid, could see the hair clearly, was the most humongous butt. I was like, really? That's my first.
First encounter. Funny.
Okay. We're all caught up on everything.
We're all caught up. We're going to play this last video, and this last video is like from the beginning to the end. It's got music to go through that. It's only about 6 minutes, but we'll close with a prayer after that, and then we'll wish everyone a good night. And thank you so much, Jennifer, for coming on and explaining and letting people get more of a detailed information about what's going on in your area. And
for just being a brave, intelligent woman. We're very, very proud of you.
Thank you. Thank you so much for all you guys' help. I really couldn't do this without y'all.
And we're going to see you again soon.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, we're going to play this last video, and then we'll come back for the
closing prayer.
For the closing prayer.
Whenever this homeowner walks her dog, she sees new trees or hears new trees being broken. So we're here today to help her push back. We know for a fact that there are predator Bigfoot and the hybrids here from visual sightings as well as other signs. Pull downs back there. There's blinds everywhere around here. Pull downs. We're gonna do our best to clean up as much as we can today until it gets too hot, and then we will, pardon? We will take a siesta and let it cool off. Look what she's dealing with here. They've been coming and going in this swamp, in this pond. This is a danger zone right here by the gate. We're gonna remove all these blinds.
And
Go.
if you get that by that tree, down and below,
I'll go back and look, make sure I got it.
then we'll clear on this side.
We gotta clear this out because as she stops to get the gate open, it's a perfect ambush spot.
Sits right down in there. It's got all the. Then right here, it sits right here too. The room back in there.
And this is also where they can watch her at the gate, and it's quite a deep.
We can chainsaw all these then.
Uh-huh. I want to get a look at this pine tree over here. All of this is, right now it's been very dry, so, but normally this would have water standing in it. She's been working hard. It's just too much for one person. Got some matting here. They've been sitting there. This pine tree is absolutely ridiculous with the damage that's been done to it. With the pulling down of the boughs. Pine trees don't grow like this. And it's been going on a long time here. So this property was empty for many, many years, and when these two ladies moved in, look at the way those are bowed. When these two ladies moved in, it really stirred the predators up. Bows out in the pond, which we won't be going out into that water, but we'll push back the best we can. Predators have been coming in on that far side. This is not their property on the far side of this pond, but the homeowner, not the person that does own that property, has said it's not a problem if we want to clear some of that out, which I'm sure they would. I'm sure they would say that. They'll be grateful for the help. I don't know how much we'll get done today. This is going to be an ongoing thing. These ladies are going to have a lot of continuous upkeep. That area over there has She's got some great footage of eye shine. The walking wolf in this area. It's really not a wide patch of forestation right there, but there's plenty to hide in. Most of the wildlife here is gone. When they first came here, there was a lot of snakes. The snakes are now gone. Most of the other critters, she said that there's a few squirrels left, and that's really about it. The rest of the wildlife is gone. And once that starts to happen, when the predator Bigfoots are entrenched in an area like this, they'll start coming after the pets. And after the pets, it's time for the people. So we want to get as much done as we can. Here's an example where this blind is. There's not even a tree that this branch belongs to. This is just stuck here to build up this blind. You see? So we're cutting back all these branches on this pine tree, and tucked in here are these other branches. They'll use whatever you leave laying around. And we'll pray. We'd also like to just say thank you to everyone that's new here. Thank you to our people who have become friends and family that are returning here. Share this out so that people know how to get a start. Don't get overwhelmed. Don't get discouraged. You know, we know what we know because the warnings are good. We've had time to have warnings. So let's just thank God for that. And thank you, Jennifer. And we'll go ahead and pray the meeting close. Lord, thank you. Thank you. We know that it's not our strength that we need to rely on. We know that it's yours and that you will and always have given us everything that we need to continue to do the things that we need to do. You just keep pointing us in the right direction, Lord, and keep doing what you do because you do it very well. And we love you for it. Thank you, Lord. Your hand of protection over all the people that are viewing now and that are viewing later. Lord, let them see what they need to see in their areas and let them know the ways that they can help because everybody can do something, Lord. We love you. In Jesus' name, amen.
And
Y'all
we
have a good evening.
also want to thank everybody for the support that you've been given. And we like showing you what we do with that support, and this is a part of that. But we want to thank you because we used some of that for gas money to get over there and take care of our own tools that we needed to use, even for the lawnmower and things like that. But we just want to thank everybody again for your support, and we appreciate everything. And we're going to go ahead and close.
And the way you encourage each other in here, that does our heart so good. This is a safe place for people to talk about what they've been through. And we really appreciate the way you pray for each other, support each other, love on each other. Thank you for that.
And the quality of people here.
Yeah.
We love
Thank
that.
you.
So everyone have a great night. We will see y'all. Let's see, what is today? Saturday. Tomorrow we're busy. We're all booked up on something else that we have to do. But I think we're going to be back at that same spot. Maybe once or twice this coming week.
Uh-huh. And
But
Tracker B, we'll get with her too. She's got a lot going on. So we will have an update program presentation with her
and they have a lot
in
of
the next few days.
a lot of activity going on right there in that area, and plus some other things that they are having to deal with the outside part of the family. But it's all connected.
It is, and keep Southern in your prayers. That's the young man that's struggling really, really hard with the Bigfoot attacks that he had, getting anyone to believe him, and he feels isolated. Pray that maybe one day we can talk with him ourselves, and maybe that will help.
And we can't change what happened, and we can't apologize for what happened to the young man because that was none of our doing. That was these predators. But if we could have made it out there, and they had police looking for him that night also, but we had volunteered to come out and do some tracking, and we would have went out there that night looking for him. But the police were out looking for him, and they didn't find him until morning. So they weren't tracking the way we would have tracked. So, but we can't change what happened. We wish we could have, and could still. But our prayers go with the family.
Pray that the people that are rejecting him, teasing him, ridiculing him, making his situation so much worse, that they just be removed from his life.
Yeah.
So that he can heal. He needs healing. He needs deliverance. His name is Southern.
And I wrote this down, and I almost forgot to talk about it, but it's when someone will not even consider the possibility that these predators are out there, that they're endangering their families and people around them and their communities. We've seen more women stand where the men should be, but the men have not decided to take that place yet. but we need them standing. We need them standing with their families, with their children, believing their children, believing their wives, believing their sons and daughters, believing the dogs. And if the dogs
Their
are
mamas.
barking, the mothers. We need more men out there standing up. We see the women. Women are standing left and
It's
right.
men on here, but we need
Yeah.
more out there.
And more out there. And again, if you hear a podcast or an interview like that, put in the comments. You need to get this book. You need to read this book. It will help them. We'll answer a lot of questions that they have that they haven't even thought about asking.
Yeah, we want to avoid stories like Southerns.
So I want to thank everybody again, and tracker meeting on Tuesday. We may go live maybe tomorrow for a little bit just to show you what we're doing, what we're still doing in another area for another project that's coming up. But we want to thank you again for your time, and we'll see you again very soon.
God bless you all. Good night, warriors.
Good night, warriors. The weed is moving.
So beautiful.
The weed is moving.
It's so weird. The effect's not quite the same on film. So we're on our way in a snowstorm to go try to find someone that's lost in the woods. You'll say a prayer.